Welcome back, Hunters. I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return to Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate G-Rank series. So, we do have the hunting poll up, and we've gotten our clear number 1, number 2. The third hunt is still probably a little bit up in the air, because I'm going to let the poll go for another day and see. But these first two are pretty well standouts from the rest, so I figure I can easily get them done, or them recorded without too much backlash, or if I made a mistake. Because they're well ahead of anything else in the vote, so they are going to be the 2 Cephadrome in one hunt, and then subspecies exclusives to 4th gen. But before that, I did clear out a few of the caravan quests, so just for the sake of old story stuff, I'm going to just go through some of the chat here. Hey, did it, Kindred Hunter? Knew you would. Thanks to you, I managed to snag one of the missing blueprint pages. Consider my bacon saved. I was fretting I might have to ask the ace commander and face the lecture from dusk till dawn. The Lady Gunner is tracking down the second page as we speak. Might take a while longer, so hang tight. We first know once we get a lead. Sure, I'm lucky to find myself surrounded by so many capable folks. Okay, so that's all for there. And is it Sophia who has... Yeah, it is the guild marm. Thank you so much, Doodle. You should see the number of holes my research helped me fill. I sent my never more noteworthy notebook to the academy. It's a shoo-in this time, I guarantee it. We first know once they write back. Okay, so it's just a little bit of wrap-up stuff from some of the quests I've done. And it hasn't been any monsters that I haven't already done in, like, videos. It was basically the Desert Celtis and Ashketch Watcha. So this episode is going to be tackling they're kind of a nuisance monster, and they've never really been that enjoyed in the series. It's going to be Cephadrome, and it's only going to be 2 of them in the single hunt. So let me just get... Ooh, that's actually a pretty good combo. Temper and Lucky Cat. So you guys basically chose the most annoying and nuisance monster for me to go after as the number 1 pick. So you guys maybe just want to see me suffer. And if that's the case, I'm all for it. Let's go do it. Because Cephadrome, I'm going to need some of their parts and stuff for some upgrades. But it also gives me a chance to talk about the Piscine Wyverns, where I don't know if I've actually been able to talk about them in the 4 Ultimate series at all or not. Because, again, if I have, I do apologize for going over the same point again, but the Cephadromes are going to be a prime example of what I want to talk about, which is the Piscine Wyverns themselves seem to need both a reclassification of what they are and remodel of what they are. Like, let's see, where is it? Berserker Rage, that'll be the next one. There we go, line in the sand. Yes, we'll deal with these guys. I've got myself up with the standard, defense up medium, evade extender, pierce. We're using the Mono Devil Caster Plus, and I did make sure to bring everything I should need in order to make more Pierce 1, Pierce 2s. Because with going up against 2 G-Rank monsters, though their health is a little lowered because there are 2 of them, they're still probably going to take a bit of a beating to put down. And just make sure I do have cool drinks. Okay. Oh, and I'm not sure what the point of the Poogie is. I've never been able to find him in a spot where I could actually, like, pet it, so maybe it's something just like a little mascot for the Elder Hall. Let's head out on the quest, and once we get into engaged with one of the Cephadromes, I'll talk about my kind of stance on the Piscine Wyverns. Nope, well, that's pretty quick to get right up into a fight with one. Yeah, we'll start with the Pierce 3, and then we'll just use 30 on him. So my thing on the Piscine Wyverns is they should be remodeled so they don't actually stand up like this. Like, it feels like as soon as they're on their proper legs standing, they kind of lose a lot of what makes them a good, unique monster design. Like, I think the family start... Did the family start with Cephadrome or did it start with Plesioth? I can't remember. But my thinking is they should be changed more to be almost like a Leviathan build in a way. Like, more body right on the floor. The fins are like proto-legs in a way, and they don't actually stand up, so they do more things like swimming around more easily, tail swipes, flopping, just kind of make them more like proper fish, and change them from being... Oh, actually, that honed in pretty well. Oh, crap, there's the other one. Okay, I wasn't exactly hoping to be fighting the 2 at once, but it might be something that's going to happen here, because I don't have the dung bomb. I don't have dung bombs with me. That's not smart. Oh, Lord. That actually came at just the perfect time. Yeah, these guys, they're not hitting too bad, which is a good start, but the pair of them are going to be a nuisance simultaneously. Okay, so I think it's the smaller of the two we started with. Oh, we actually have his fin broken, so we can tell. But I feel like as they stand up, they kind of lose a lot of, like, their potential for just, like, interesting fights. A lot of it just boils down to stand and spit, or like, the swim they don't have to be standing for. They could just be on their legs and that. I'm trying to think of what, like, real-life animal. And it's an extinct species. I think it's like, oh, what is it called? I looked it up to try to have a better reference for it. Remember, it was like during the Carboniferous period, I think. I think Henodon? No. I'm trying to remember. It's kind of like a species of lobe fish, but it's I think the size of like an orca or something almost. But basically have it, again, these guys are just kind of lose too much of their uniqueness. Oh, actually, is that a shiny? Or is that a green one? I think that's a green one, but we'll still snag it. That gives us a little extra healing. I mean, very accurate for little. And yeah, we'll leave this one up here for now and focus on the first one we engaged. I'm still trying to remember the name. I'm hoping it'll come to me as I keep, like, talking in the video a bit. But also change Plesioth. Instead of being a Piscine Wyvern, I think it should just be a Flying Wyvern. I mean, it kind of really resembles what Diablos is in a way, where, sure, it's technically a Flying Wyvern. Or, well, model-wise, it's a Flying Wyvern. But it doesn't really actually seem to have enough to set it apart to be like Piscine, whereas Diablos... Okay, let me just make sure I can heal up first, and then I'll talk more. Diablos is a Flying Wyvern that doesn't fly, and Plesioth is kind of like the same, it's just that it swims instead. So it might be better to have it as... Actually, that's too much Pierce 3s. I want to switch down to Pierce 2s. There we go. Like, the physiology of Plesioth, to me, way resembles more of just, like, a specialized Flying Wyvern than it would a Piscine Wyvern. Like, Dratidus, Beatotus... I'd probably argue Cephadrome as well. Although, I guess you could kind of make it more as, like, the... Wait, have I beaten the subquest? Oh, yeah, I have. I just didn't even recognize when it actually marked as completed. Oh, and he can swim after he pops out. Oh yeah, I kind of hate the dunes because of, like, all the areas where you just will hop up instead of just rolling along. And out of the way that. Yeah, it's not too bad on his own. It's once the two are actually in the same area at the same time, it gets hard trying to manage them both at once. Oh, and he's already limping, which is a very good sign. Oh, and speaking of the other one. Okay, so let's work at following up on... I think he's going to go to the other big dune area, then he'd be trying to go to the nest spot. So let's just follow and see. Is he out here? No, okay, so he must have gone right to the nest, which... It's only at night, I think, you can access it. Although, Would that be right? Hang on, if I thought low tide happens during the day because the moon isn't pulling the water towards it. I'm trying to remember how low and high tides work. Because I thought as, like, the moon comes in, the water's kind of gravity is bringing it along, and that usually causes the tide to rise up. And then low tide, because the moon's on the opposite side of the planet, you don't have that effect. I think that's how that works, but yeah, I thought, whatever. It is what it is. The bridge to get between the Big Sand area and Area 3 here is only active at night then for Monster Hunter. There we go. Oh yeah, these guys actually are pretty easy to handle. I think the two of them in one quest definitely has helped a lot for reducing their health amounts. And they are also monster where the pierce shots get a lot of procs through their body as you shoot them. Yeah, you guys just handle the Hermitor for a moment. Although, I might actually try helping you guys out taking it down. Because I might need some materials from it. This is the start of G rank, and everything's valuable at the start of any rank for Monster Hunter. Whether you're starting the game out completely fresh, you're going into high rank, or into G rank, it doesn't hurt to try stockpiling materials early on. You never know what you'll need later in. Oh, there it is. Actually, can I hit you? There we go. Yes, we'll switch that back to Pierce 3s to carve it up. There we go. And you know what? I'll use a potion and that one herb we got just to top ourselves up before we go after the other one. Yeah, so the first one, not too hard to handle at all as a gunner. That seems to be one of the things. If it's annoying as a blade master, being a gunner really helps simplify the fight or trivialize it. Like Kezu's another monster, where as a blade master, it can be annoying dealing with the full electric shield it'll put around itself at times. Gunners, you just keep shooting. You still do have the bigger risk as a gunner, though, of... It's kind of a little bit weird when you think about it, too. Because gunners are going to be targeted more by, like, charges and... the larger, heaviest hitting attacks. But they have the weaker defense. Whereas the Blade Masters are the ones who are going to be getting hit by, like, generally a lot more of these smaller attacks. Ow. Oh, jeez, as soon as I got up from the other one, basically. Okay, well, at least Calico distracted it for then. And, oh, yeah, Calico's going to get it again. Okay. Yeah, I don't think the little Cephalos will really provide much of what I really need for materials. And then he does the little schwim. Oh, that name is still escaping me. It's... I looked it up, and it's just... I cannot seem to... Ow. Oh, that hurt quite a bit. Yeah, still gotta be careful. G-rank monsters still, even if it does seem... One was easy to handle, that doesn't mean they all will be. Ooh. Almost kind of dodged into that. Yeah, I gotta mind the little guys too. I'm kind of surprised they haven't been more of a nuisance being like G-rank versions. Oh, right, gotta dodge. Oh, no, he didn't swim that time. Oh! Oh, we actually interrupted him mid-dive because we broke the tail. Yeah, we're not gonna let you go under. You gotta stay up for a while. Oh, and there's the head broken. I can't remember if you can break the side fins too or not. I know Plesioth, you could break the head, the back, the tail and the side fins. But I'm not sure if Cephadrome is the same as that or not. I don't think so. Because I'd have to imagine with how well we did on the other one we fought, if those could be broken, they would have. Hang on, did the name just come to me? Was it Notice? No, I think that was a turtle. I'm trying to... God, what was the name of it? I know it started with H. I might even have to actually look it up and see... Oh, crap. Yeah, we're dead. I think we got hit by the infamous Cephadrome spam, which is basically he does... Whenever he does that attack, it paralyzes you. Because I guess it's like something on the underbelly or whatever you get hit by. You know what? Maybe what I'll do... God, it's bugging me so much. I looked it up before. I'm trying to remember what it was. I'm actually thinking I'm going to take a moment to pause here, quickly Google what I'm trying to bring up and mention. And then maybe I can even try to sneak in like a little visual aid in the video too of what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'll pause for a moment and be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I did look it up. I was kind of close on the name, except it actually starts with an R. Rhizodus. I'll have an image of it, and I remembered it because it was featured on River Monsters as like an idea that Jeremy Wade kind of talks about and goes into, but that's kind of my thinking for what the Piscine Wyverns should be remade as. Just these more... almost amphibious fish, where like the limbs or the fins in that are more like proto-legs. So instead of standing upright to kind of lose this, like where do they even get the leg part from? Just make them like giant fish to fight, really. I think that's actually one of the reasons why Gerardus is a much better fight in Rise, is because he's not standing upright as much as he like usually does. He's just more like a proper fish swimming around in a lot of the mud pool areas. So I think if they kind of take that with like how the Rise sort of build is, where it's just like large belly-dragging land fish in a way, that would help for giving the Piscine Wyverns a little bit more... maybe make them a little more interesting so they're not just like, again, standing fish for the most part. And that also lets them do more stuff more easily. Okay, what are you up to? Okay, so it's going to pop up over there. Oh, these little guys are now really proving to be a nuisance. They weren't at all... Oh, okay, there we go. With him over in the other area, we should be much better off. So yeah, let's continue on. He shouldn't have too much health left considering how the other one went down. Oh, but there are still Cephalos in this area. And now I have to deal with all the weird, like, bunny hops if I stay up near the tops of some of these. Oh, that's perfect. Well, actually, the hill will sort of help. Well, it did help a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Nice flinch off. Mind where the little guy's going. Be careful of his homing shots because, surprisingly enough, I guess it does make sort of sense for G-Rank to make him more dangerous than your usual. But they have pretty good homing abilities with their shots. Oh, and mind the swims. Is that going to send him off? No, he's still here. And I really gotta be careful if he does start spamming out like the flying that he was doing the last time before we got carded. Oh, you bugger. Okay, there we go. He's limping now. So I think that'll be him going off to sleep. Yeah, okay. So instead of going through the desert like I had, we're going to just go up through camp, because this will be the shorter way. I am really surprised I didn't have to make more, like, ammo for this hunt. I thought with it being G rank it would have required, but I guess we're still holding up pretty good with just how ridiculous the Mono Devil Caster Plus is for, like, its raw value. I think it's actually going to outrank or overperform even to, like, some of the base G rank guns we'll get. Like, we'll take a look after we beat the Cephadrome at probably the armor and the weapon upgrades, and just kind of compare a few of the numbers. But we'll see how everything starts stacking up. There you are, you bugger. Oh, yeah, there we go. Nice, quick, put him down. So yeah, my opinion on Piscine Wyverns, reclassify them as just Piscenes, redesign them so that way instead of having these long hind legs that don't exactly match up with the rest of their body, make them so they're shorter, more like lobe fins or proto legs, and give them the ability to just do a lot more of like swimming attacks on land or like sliding around. Think of like how Lagombi shoots itself around, or how... I'm trying to think of something else. Like, even how Lagyrus can kind of, like, do the biting lunge and then flick of the tail. Something like that, too. Just make the monster a little bit less based on the wyverns, since there are so many wyverns in the game, and more Leviathan-esque. Kind of think of, like, how Golbull is. Golbull is a great example of what I think would be a better Piscine sort of design. It doesn't need to have the big flat body on them, like Golbull, that's just one of its characteristics. But that Leviathan take, I think, is a much better approach for the Piscine wyverns like the Dradidus, Beatotus, even Cephadrome here. And Plesioth, just reclassify it as a flying wyvern, but it's specialized just like how Diablos is a specialized flying wyvern. We got a lot of materials here, which is very good. Okay, we'll need a pink fin for something. I'll have to check what that was. But yeah, pretty good hunt aside from the one cart. Well, even then, one cart is not too bad. Some stuff will happen here or there, and sometimes just how monsters attack, or if they decide to spam moves, it can just wind up to be what it will be. So don't beat yourself up too much if you are getting carded once or twice on hunts. You're just kind of learning, and sometimes stuff will happen. Now let's take a look and see what we can do with what we got. Okay, there's the man. Okay, so let's take a look at the armor. Oh, there we go. Not really that good. Fate Psychic, like, it might be an okay utility set, but it's still only at 40, where we're still sitting pretty okay where we are. There's nothing to make there. There's nothing to make there, so it must be in upgrades. Not there, not there, not there. Actually, look at some of these values. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, the Buster Blaster Plus is only at 315, so that might be up. Even if we get that upgraded with the Power Barrel added on and the Limiter removed, it might... Oh, well, actually, the 40% affinity, though. Ooh, that might be pretty spicy to use. I thought I had something that needed the Cephalos materials for it. Let me just keep going through. Maybe it was actually a light bowgun. You know what? That might be it. It might actually be the Maelstrom. That's it. Probably the best water light bowgun tree in the game. I think, at least. Yeah, so we'll upgrade that. We won't equip it. That goes to the Plesioth Drencher. I'll just stick that on. And I have found I might actually do a few light bowgun episodes in G rank. Because depending on the monster, if you do build it for like an elemental set of light bowgun, so it's whatever your specific element is +3 on a set, and a rapid fire light bowgun, you get very close, if not even being able to just outright kill the monster with just the elemental ammo, not even having to like make more. When I was going after a few Quechua to get the light bowgun, the Precision Puska, I was able to use, I think it was just the... what was it I used? It might have been the Burst Revolver And that just, it combined with the Arshan set with the fire attack +3 on it, because this also has the rapid fire, it just really performed well. So I'll have to see what I'll do with that, but we are going to bring this episode to close here. It was a bit of a talking through it. I do apologize if that's not your thing and you prefer more of the hunt-focused things, but I did want to give my take on how to improve the Piscine Wyverns. I think they're one of the weakest monster families in the game, and it really, I think, comes down a lot to they just do not fit as a Wyvern, and that takes away from what they could be. Whereas if they take like the Gobul approach, make it more Leviathan-esque, they might be able to stand out a bit more and be more engaging of fights and hunts in general. But thank you guys for joining me on this bit of a long-winded episode of Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like, and if you have any comments, tips, or tricks, be sure to comments right down below. Until I do see you in the next video, survivors and hunters, please remember, as always, to take care, stay alive, and happy hunting.